Hello, everybody. Welcome on the live stream today. Uh, Kindly put in the chat box what you are trading for the day. Let's know what you are trading so we can check out the pair for you. I can see Tadiwa, my friend. How are you doing today? Mr. Toby, are you sharing your screen?
Yeah, just give me a minute.
We are here. Benjamin Uludari. Welcome on the call, guys. Tofumi Yanoluwa. Welcome, everybody. All right. Let's get
Yeah, it's
the game
nice to
started.
catch up with everyone. And I believe, yeah, my screen is live already. Yeah, so the whole idea is just to make sure, people can learn how to trade, especially when you see other people taking live trades and you see how people like myself, like Boli, and a few other persons who will be joining the calls maybe today or at every other time. What we look out for in the market, how we get to take a trade, and this would in turn boost your own confidence so you can also, grow in the game. Like I like to tell people, trading is a participatory sport. No matter how much you watch football, if you don't practice, if you don't get on the field to play, you won't be great at it. All right. If you read all the books in the world about swimming, but you never get into the pool, you never swim with other people, you'll never be great at it. It's just very basic, very simple. The same thing with cooking. You will never be a great cook just because you've learned all the recipes, you read about them, you have a book of recipes everywhere, but here you are, you've never tried cooking, all right? You've never been in the kitchen with other people, you would never be great at it. So, yeah, for those who are willing to be great at trading, this is the one stop live stream you should always be a part of, all right? So, it's going to get really bigger with time, the structure will get better. So if you are joining now, you're just a part of history from the very get-go, all right? You're part of those who are making history. So cheers to you. How I trade is not so complicated. It's never been. No, it used to be complicated. I think the longer you stay in the game, the clearer you see the charts, and then the easier your life gets in a way. Because when you're just starting out, you're learning a whole lot of bullshit here and there, a whole lot of jargons. But with time, you will just realize, okay, for you to be profitable, which is what you want to be at the end of the day, you just have to look for one strategy that works, stick with it, you know, take it like a religion, and then just go around with it every time, all day, always. Yeah. Let me pull up more pairs. Well, what are you trading today, or what are you looking at?
I'm looking at gold, but the main movements happened like 15 minutes ago, so I'll just chill for a while. I've actually not been trading other pairs in a very long time now, like maybe almost a month. I've been trading just gold,
That's
just
nice.
gold.
You want to share
And
your
it's been
reason
working.
why?
Can I share a reason why?
Yeah.
I think I just want to double down on one pair. It's always better when you're trading one pair rather than trading multiple pairs. Like you have more concentration. Like when you wake me up in the night, I know the price range that gold is at. I know what the expectation is for this week. I know what we are
Mm,
expecting. I know, like basic fundamental events that we should be expecting on gold for the week, and things of that nature. It's just always better that you trade one pair. Okay, so I think when I started, you knew about this. I was trading GPP JPY, for a very, very, very long time, and that sort of like, you know, um, increased my odds of winning, right? And it helped me to master the game faster than the majority of people I know.
nice. Uh,
Yeah,
I think I can understand, but I'm sure it would be of help to people who are jumping on this and watching us.
yeah,
Because at the end of the day, you just what you want to do is to make money. You don't need to trade all the pairs there is in the market, for you to be able to do that.
yeah.
If you just find one or two, some people are good at looking here and there, looking at all the charts, everything. But I'm not of that school of thought. You should trade everything. Eson Ifeoluwase, yeah, good day to you also. You're welcome. Akorede, nice to have you here. Nice to have everybody on the stream. If there are peers you want us to check out or look at, if there are topics you want us to also raise discussions about, you could just drop that in the comment section so we can jump on that. Okay, let me just do an analysis of gold and then we kick off from there. Hey, shout out to you, Idemi. Yomi, shout out to you also. Shout out to everybody. Okay, so this is how I like to analyze the market every time I jump on it. It's never complicated in my book. First thing I want to identify is what trend is the market making, what direction is the market going in today? And you know, the daily chart is where you want to look at that just to have a general idea. For me, it looks like this is the trend, probably. It doesn't mean there are no buying opportunities, but it looks like ultimately the market is on its way down. So while that is like the bias I'm going to keep in my head, selling opportunities from the daily time frame, we're not going to sleep here on the daily time frame because this takes a longer time before it actually materializes. Okay, so Let's go over to a smaller time frame just to go see what to do. But before I go, I will mark out this important level. Obviously, this is an important support area. All right. It's an important support area. You can already see price has bounced here once, second time, third time, the fourth time. So whether it breaks to the downside or whatever, let's just mark that area and then we move on. Also, the last resistance point, I'm going to mark it out also. And now I'm going down. Let's start from the 4-hour time frame. We can adjust our marked areas. All right. Okay, good. Ajiboye. Yeah, we'll look at Euro GBP in a moment, but let me finish up with gold. So if I have this markup right now for gold, and for someone who would look at just basically someone who wants to look at the 1 hour time frame alone might just already be thinking, oh, it's like this is building for an uptrend, which looks like it until this happened, and then we can see how fatal the whole break to the downside comes. After something like this has happened in the market, what do you want to do? For you to, if you still want to go on with your buy bias, as someone who is probably you picked up your analysis from the daily time frame, you need to see bullish actions. All right, it may not happen today. I don't know when it will happen. But before you consider your buying again, you must see a bullish price action that cancels this bearish price action, because this is a strong force. Those who like to check out the news would already tell you one important news happened and that was why. All right. For me, I don't really go in depth into the news. I don't focus on the news because I can't control it. All right. I'm not saying it's not relevant, but I can't control it. That's why I don't give it so much of my attention. I just want to stay on this technical side of things on the front. Yeah. So, right. For me, before I start considering a buy on this particular pair now, I need to see a bullish price action that must be as strong or very similar to this bearish pressure. Otherwise, any buy activity you are trying to make, because the price is at a support level, might just not end too good. All right, it won't even end well, if I put it that way. So, as my rule will be, if I'm following from what I've seen on the daily time frame, I want to focus more on the selling opportunities, and then I would either be looking for a retest of this level. If price comes over to retest this level, or price does this to retest this level, either at this level or this level, all right, I can begin to look for opportunities to sell the market back. Hold on a bit. So yeah, this is what I'll be looking out for: an opportunity to sell back to this support level. Somebody would ask, why not just jump in on the sell now? Then that's not trading, you are gambling. All right. If you just jump in on the sell, because this move already happened. All right. So if you jump in now, you are jumping in the middle of nowhere. If you jump in now to jump on the sell now without a retest, you are jumping in the middle of nowhere. The chances that you blame your village people are very, very high at the end of the day. All right. The chances that you would say, forex is not for me, will be very, very high at the end of the day. And I'll tell you the reasons why. Because number one, where are you going to put your stop loss? If you enter this trade now with the hope that okay, price is coming down here, the first question is where are you going to put your stop? Ideally, you want to put your stop above the previous resistance level, and that will look like okay, probably you jump in here. You are trying to make about 60 pips, and then your risk is about 326 pips. All right, it doesn't make any sense. All right, this is a no, 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 no for anybody. Even if you want to sell, you must learn to be patient. But can you hear me well?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good, good.
I can hear you clearly.
All right, so yeah, if I'm then going to take a sell on this pair, you have to wait for the key retest areas, either this place or this place. Where the price might still come to retest here, also, we never can tell. Ours is not to like, we can't force the market and say this is what exactly is going to happen. No. We only have ideas. The idea we have is that price is going to go retest some key areas before the sell will continue, as seen from the daily time frame. Except this support level gives us, very strong bullish price action that comes to cover up this bearish price action. Um, there's no point trying to consider buys right now in gold. So, if you have questions or opinions, I would like to hear them also. Yeah, so let me check out Euro GBP, like someone suggested. So one thing I want everyone who is listening right now to do, I want you to share this link. All right, share this link right now. Put it up on your status. Let more people be able to come in and join, because what we want to do at the World Builders Academy, we want to build a community of people who can take their life in their hands, can take their finances in their hands, create wealth as much as possible from so many streams, so many opportunities that are, so many opportunities that are like that you can't just resist in our world today. So that's what we're trying to do. So share the link as much as possible. Talk to your friends about it. Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays. Every week is going to be back-to-back wins. Like this is just the first day. There's a lot in store, I can assure you guys. Yeah, what if gold breaks through the support? You need to, if it breaks the support on the daily time frame, which is the time frame where we're picking our structure from, and then we have a retest, then you continue the sell. Like I said, my primary expectation, looking at the structure from the daily time frame, is a sell. All right, that is, we're expecting more strength for USD over gold. I think I said that over and over. So yeah, this is what Euro GBP looks like. But for me, I wouldn't trade Euro. I don't trade Euro GBP, because instead of trading Euro GBP, I'd rather go trade either Euro USD or Euro JPY or GBP JPY. Because Euro GBP, the spread between them is not usually so favorable, and also the movement, they don't really move as much. By the time Euro GBP, for example, moves 100 pips, GBP JPY, Euro JPY have moved maybe 150 or 200 pips. But it's okay if you already like are used to this. And the same thing I do. First go over to the daily time frame. I just want to establish what the market is doing, and then we know what to do also. Wow. Nice structure, yeah. Okay, so basically you can see the upward, movement here. Price is on the uptrend. That's what we have on the daily time frame. We keep that bias one place in our mind as we go over the other part of the chart. So let's go. And then before I leave my daily time frame, usually I like to mark up one key area. These are important areas that price currently is at on the daily time frame. So let's go adjust it on the H4 time frame. All right, it looks like this. So if all things being equal, this is where price is what price is doing right now. Going back to the next resistance area, right? That's what price is trying to do. So let's see where and how can you catch this trade. That's when you go down to the 30 minutes or the 1 hour time frame. All you want to do right here is to look for your entry levels and then you just execute your trade. So this is it. Like, if I'm trading this pair, like this is a good setup to make a buy without any hesitation, right? Because it's simple. Price broke above this level, this particular level. All right, came back to retest it. This is a retest of the area. And then after the retest, we already have a bullish price action, showing that the buyers are back in charge, trying to continue to lead the market. An aggressive entry level is here, but then you have to then consider what your risk would be like. But of course, I'll be looking at the buy opportunity, the buy. So if you want to take a buy, the first question you want to ask yourself, what does the risk to reward, what does it look like? All right, so if you make an entry here, your stop is about 17 pips, or let's say 18 pips, and then your take profit is about 38 pips on the other hand. So you want to look at this and ask yourself, okay, do I want to take it? It's about 1:2, right? It's about 1:2. You want to ask yourself, do you want to take a trade here? If you make an entry right now where price is, your stop loss, where are you going to put it? Or on the other hand, you say you want to do this. You know that this particular area, this new area where I just put this line. Let me make this new area where I just put the red line. If price is going back up, this area would serve as the new resistance point. Obviously, if price breaks it, then we expect if price breaks above this level, which price should do if we're expecting that price should continue bullish all the way from here down here. Excuse me. All right, so if you're expecting that price should break above this area, and then right above this level, this red line, that's 0.868 area. Here again, you can make another entry. Okay. As a matter of fact, it might look safer, if you're considering safety and all this stuff. And then you can make your buy again right off here. So in this case, you're chasing probably 25 or 25 pips, but what you'll be losing, I guess, should be lower. But we need to see how the candles form here so that we can see where to put the stop loss at the end of the day. All right. But if this once price breaks above this level, which already looks like what would happen at the close of this candle, you know. So it's just going to be like a good ride with lesser risk, at the end of the day. Who asked the question on Euro GBP? Did you find clarity? Let me know in the comments. Oh, nice. It's a confirmation of the idea. That's great. That's great. So, Bolly, you can check out, if you don't mind, someone wants Euro USD, you can just do that for us.
I'll share my screen now.
Yeah, bye.
Can you see my screen?
Sure.
All right, so Euro USD. I think all USD pairs have been, you know, affected in some ways by the news that just got dropped like some minutes ago. I think around about 1 hour ago. CPI news, and it actually moved the market. This is 1 hour. This is 1 day time frame. You could see how much this has moved. The only reason why I won't be trading today is that it seems like the major moves has already happened, especially on USD pairs. You know, so look at this. This thing has moved over 197 pips, about 200 pips today. You know,
Wow.
but nonetheless, let's still check what the structure of the market and things of that nature, what it looks like, basically. So please give me a minute. All right, so I'm seeing some patterns in the market right now. I'm seeing something like a downtrend. If you look at this, right, and you look at something like this over here, and you look at something like this over here, you see that the market is actually creating lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, which is sort of like a market structure for a bearish setup, right? And remember, this is 1 day time frame, So what lower lows are is that okay? So market creates a low over here, but it creates another low that is lower than this particular low. Then it went ahead to create another low that is lower than this particular one over here. So we're expected to maybe create okay. So after every low that has been created, you see that market goes ahead to form another high, but the new highs are not higher than the former highs. This is what I mean. Look at so if you draw a trend line, and actually put it on the chart like this, You see that the market is actually obeying this trend line, and for every time it has moved close to that trend line, it has bounced back. Can you see this? It has bounced back. So if you understand market structure very well, I think trading becomes really, really easy because number one, you won't be trading against the trend. It's one thing to get a trade right or to have a winning trade. It's another thing to like do the right thing. If I want to trade USD Euro or Euro USD right now, I won't be looking for a buy opportunity. I'll be looking for what a sell opportunity. Why? Because the market is on a clear downtrend. The market is on a clear downtrend, even though there are a lot of buy opportunities on Euro USD. At the same time, the main moves will be happening on the sell, on the sell on the downtrend. You know, so if I'm to analyze this, of course we'll start from the daily time frame, which is something like this. This is a level over here. We can see that the market actually touched its, it almost hit that level over here. Then it did the same thing over here. So this is a very significant level on Euro USD, right? The next level I'll be looking at is over here, over here. This is another level. So we can also say the market is trapped between these two zones over here, and this is how many pip zone? This is this is this is about 450 pips. So I don't know how much you want to make, but 450 pips is actually a lot of money, right now. So you can take intermittent trades between these two zones and actually see what happens. If it breaks up, you keep on buying. If it breaks down, you keep on selling. You know, then what do we do? What I'm doing right now is what we call top-down analysis. So you start. It's always advisable you start your analysis from the higher time frame, right? And you actually go all the way down to the lower time frame. I usually take my trade on like 30-minute time frame, 1 hour time frames. Sometimes if I'm trading highly volatile pairs like gold, I look at 15 minutes. Do you understand? I look at 15 minutes if I'm trading highly volatile pairs. And the only reason why I do that is because gold moves very fast. Before you wait for 1 hour time frame or 1 hour candle to close, the major
Yeah.
moves has already happened. So in order not to like keep on missing out on opportunities and all that, that's why I trade 15-minute time frame on gold. All right. So what I'm seeing here right now, there's a particular level over here. There's a particular level. And one thing about all of this is that what you mark on the higher time frame will still be on the lower time frame. It's still the same thing at the end of the day. For
Yeah.
example, a 1 day time frame, if you are using 1 day candlestick, you find 6 4 hour time frame. 4 hour candlestick is inside 1 day candlestick. If you are using 4 hour candlestick, you'll find 4 1 hour candlesticks inside 4 hours. The same thing for 30 minutes. You find two 30-minute time frames on 1 hour. The same thing for 15 minutes. You find 4 hour candlestick inside 1 hour candlestick. So everything is more or less like interconnected. It's not like you have to do an analysis for 1 hour, 1 day time frame, and you do a completely different analysis for let's say 4 hours or 1 hour or 30 minutes. It's still the same thing at the end of the day. You just need to like amend your this is a little, your zones and everything. So this is a very significant zone over here on the 4 hour time frame. You can see market is actually trying to break out to the downside over here. Remember I said this is on a sell, this is like on the sell. This is on the sell, what's it called? On the downtrend. So the 4 hour is good. The 1 hour, let's look at the 1 hour. All right, the 1 hour is showing us exactly the same thing that we are seeing on the 4 hour. So what I will do is just to amend this this zone a little bit. Right, amend it a little bit because of this place over here. So pretty much if I can see a 1 hour time frame closing below here, I think it's a very good trade. Now, another question is where would the stop loss be? because the stop loss is always very, very important. If you are taking this trade based on 30 minutes, I think it's a very good trade to take right now, you know. But usually I like to put my stop loss on, let's say, a candlestick before the candlestick on the top of it. So if I'm taking a sell, if I'm taking a sell signal, right? If I'm shorting this kind of trade now, let's say the candlestick as is weak over here, I would love to put my stop loss on that candlestick, but right now I can't put my stop loss over here. That's too much. Look at this. It is way too much. It's over 150 pips. So I won't be
You
putting
said
my
you
stop
want to
loss.
do for that Christmas for brokers, you know.
Yeah. So another thing we can do in that sense is now to look for lower time frame to find your stop loss. All right. So this place is actually a very good place to put your stop loss if you are taking this trade right now. 0.0064, about, let's say, 0.0066 because of spread on some brokers. So if you are taking the trade here, and your stop loss is over here, let's say 66, 67 there about, you should be looking at 130, 130, about 135 pips. This is a very good trade if you think about it. You are using 32 pips to gain 135 pips. That's like 1 to 4 risk to reward. Another thing you always need to consider when you are trading is the risk to reward ratio. Like, when you are, like, your reward always has to be greater than the risk. Always. It doesn't make sense that you are trading, like Mr. Toby was saying the other time. It doesn't make sense that you are taking a trade and you want to catch 50 pips in that trade, but the risk you are using is 150 pips. That's nonsense. That's not trading. So your risk always has to be like smaller, and the reward has to be bigger. So for this particular trade now, if this goes as planned, right, and they start breaking this low, this is another entry for you. If you already make an entry at this point, right, and you start breaking below this point over here, this is another opportunity to like add more position and all. So most times what I do is, so if I want to take 0.1 entry, I take one at this point now, around 1.0035. I take one entry, the other entry will be below here. This is a more aggressive entry, this is a more conservative entry. But at the same time, if you are taking the entry here, the stop loss will be wider. So you have to consider, like, this will be like the average of both ends. The middle of here will be the average of both ends. So at the end of the day, your stop loss will be like, let's say 45 pips there about, So depending on the lot size you are using, you calculate 45 pips on it. So this is a very quality trade, super quality trade. It has already broken below, if I'll be taking this trade, I wasn't able to take it when it is at this point, right here. So I'll be taking it at the break of this low, then expecting it to go all the way down to 0.9898 thereabout. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, bro.
Yeah. All right. You can share your screen, bro. Oh. Mr. Kokola, are you in this trade? Mr. Kokola, if you are still on the call, are you on the trade? Are you inside? Mr. Toby, do you use index at all? Like GBP index, Euro index, and all of those things?
I don't. I've never used them.
I actually use them for confirmation sometimes. Not like it's so determinant for the trade, but for confirmation. Okay, so for example, let me show you something. This is USD, right? This is USD index. on 15 minutes time frame. See what happened on. I just want to show you like the correlation, why I use it basically. So this movement is like 1.69% to the upside for USD. How many 15 minutes time frame is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Now let's look at other USD pairs, right? Let's count the last four candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Let's add this one to it. This long candle, right? How many percent move did it do to the downside? 1.65, 1.65%, 1.68%, like almost the same thing. So I basically use the index for correlation. I don't use it to take my trades, but I use it for correlation. So for example, now if you are trading against euro, you are trading USD against euro, what you are really saying is that USD is strong. Like if you are shorting euro USD, you are saying USD is strong and euro will be weak. Like USD will be stronger than euro. So basically, what I do is come to the index, see which currency is strong today, which currency is weak today, then pair them together. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, I get.
Yeah.
There's just a reason why I don't use them.
Okay.
It's not like it doesn't work, or
Yeah.
you know. I just try to limit the things I'm trying to control with every
Yeah.
trade I'm trying to take.
Yeah.
Um, for example, the occurrence on your index
Yeah.
at the same time, things are happening on the index, they're happening
Yeah.
at the same time on the live charts. So
Yeah.
it's not like you want to go use what has happened on the index to
Mm-hmm.
go pick a
Yeah.
trade.
Yeah.
So it's like these occurrences are happening
At the
simultaneously
same time, true.
at the same time. So
Yeah.
the fact that they are now similar occurrences,
Mm.
for me, I'm here to like make a difference to say, okay,
Between.
what's the point?
Yeah.
You get,
Yeah.
and well, you know how these things work. It takes that consistency, looking at it over and over and over and
Yeah.
over before you're able to get into that flow.
Yeah. I
And
think
me,
I've been using index for about a year now. Yeah.
yeah. So
Almost.
I'm not sure I've ever, except when you and I are having conversations, that's when I open
Yeah.
them. I'm not sure
Yeah.
I've personally gone on to say, okay, let me check what Dixie is doing. Honestly, I've never done that. And I'm not against it, I'm just
Yeah.
not for it,
Yeah.
because as
Makes
much as
sense.
possible,
Hmm.
I just want to trade what I see on the charts.
Yeah. Makes sense. It makes sense that way. At least control the controllables and just leave the let's trade the rest out of it. Someone said we should check out GBP JPY. Do you want to check? All right.
Okay, so it looks like GBP has been strong.
Mr. Samson Ojobo said is running almost 200 pips. What pair are you trading exactly?
I think the euro
And
USD.
can you share
Okay.
can you
It was
share
saying,
your chart with us? If you can share your chart, just drop the link on the comment section. We'll check it out and see what you are doing. It makes sense.
so I don't know why GBP has been this strong, you know, in the past couple of days. I think Maybe I don't know if it has anything to do with the new prime minister and stuff.
It's possible.
But huh?
It's possible.
But let's just go to where we can control and try to look at what the chart is saying. But if you are trading this pair, I would say you should focus on your buy opportunities, but your stop loss must be your friend at every point in time. And there's a reason why. Look at this on the daily time frame. This area is yet to properly be retested. This area. Though the push is strong, is really, really strong. Look at this is a strong bullish candle, another one, and this. These ones were just mere consolidation, these two candles, and then this was another strong push up. So it looks to me like the strong buying push is there, but there might just be a need for some adjustment and correction before the buying continues again. Look at the H4 time frame before the current candle. This is a clear indecision candle. All right. And if you understand what indecision candles tell you, the buyers try to push it up, the sellers try to push it down, but at the end of the day, it's just an even trade. This is an even, like the last 12 hours. All right, look at this 1, 2, 3. These are just three clear indecision candles in the middle there. All right, so maybe because that was on Friday, stroke Monday, so the market is still trying to find its rhythm. Today is Tuesday already. We might see the actual push maybe from tomorrow on what GBP JPY is really, really going to do. But yeah, my bias will still be the uptrend for now with what we are seeing here. So if price comes back or from where we are now, if price should give us maybe a clear bullish confirmation, if we see clear buy directions, like clear buy candles, of course one can continue with the buy. On the lower time frame, this is what it will look like on this particular time frame. All right. So if you want to take a buy, it's probably above here. This place I circled. Here might look nice to take your buys, At least price must have broken through this consolidation area. All right. And then we know that okay, the buyers are back in town. And then where would you be hoping to take your trade to? Let's look a little to the left to find that. Always know there's nothing like going on a trade and then you don't know where your key areas are. You don't know where your take profit level will be. You don't know where your stop loss will be. That's not a trade, all right? No matter how juicy it looks, if you don't know where your key areas will be, just ignore it until you find them. Then you've not seen a trade opportunity. So you can see we've come all the way to the far left. Why I didn't want to just work on this week, pick this week randomly, is not substantial enough to just say, okay, this will be my take profit level. All right, we needed to go see how price has respected that area in the past, and then you can see how it levels with this area. All right, let me look clearly and look for the body of the candle in that place. Okay, good. So yeah, this is a good area to just say we can put our take profit for. And then if price break that level, the next area will be this area. Okay. So if you're looking at GBP JPY and you want to go on with what the market is currently doing, excuse me. All right, so buying above 166.9 area, 166.90 would be a good idea because obviously this area price is in a consolidation. You can see it. We also saw this consolidation on the 4 hours time frame, but it didn't look like this. But obviously on the 4 hour time frame, you saw that the last four candles were just consolidating candles. They didn't show any direction for price. Okay. So if you looked at this stream so far and then looked at the way I analyze, I've always talked about one thing, at least for today: candlesticks, support and resistance level, price action. What's price doing? It's not more complicated than that. All right. I know people will try to make you draw trapezium, draw parallelogram. You go draw tire.
Drawing no dey finish.
Give Fibonacci, do that. But at the end of the day, you're just going to find out that it shouldn't be this hard. Like it shouldn't be this complex. So that's our strategy. It's not complex down here. It's just about doing the right thing and doing it repeatedly, doing it over and over, doing it well enough, you know. Yeah, interestingly, we're 53 minutes in on the stream. What a good way to start. Ah,
Any last person? I think we should just check one more trade before we call it a day. It's almost an hour.
yeah.
Open up. Any other pair you guys want us to check out? Kindly drop it in the comments. Let's call it a day. We've checked out Euro,
Can you do
GBP.
BTC
We've checked out.
USDT,
What did you say?
Bitcoin?
Yeah. Okay. Should I check Bitcoin?
Yeah, it would be nice.
Okay. Look at this jump. Look at this gap. About 5% gap. I pity futures traders. All right, so let me just do fresh analysis over here. Right. Daily time frame, what's Bitcoin doing? We can see some sort of uptrend over here, right? Over here. And for every time price actually hits this trend line, it came back down. On the downside, you can see something like this. See something like this. Considering here, and here. You know, I believe in repeatable patterns a lot, and I believe for you to be able to like make so much money from this market, you have to like know some certain patterns that are possibly repeatable, that are always like working out. You're always seeing them. Look at this. Price like touch this one too over here. And for every time price has been touching this trend lines, is actually been reacting to it. I think one particular trader said trend line is just like the diagonal support and resistance.
Oh,
It's also support and resistance, but now it's not like on an horizontal line. It's like diagonal. You know, so at the end of the day, it's still the same pattern. Just like different ways people decide to see the market. So there's a support level, very strong support level at 18,800 zone over here. There's a very, very strong support level over there. So if you're selling anything, you should be looking at 18,800, 19,000 thereabout, to take your profit. Yeah. And if you are looking at buying, if you are stacking up for long term, that should also be like the zone you are looking to stack up, you know. And there's a very strong support level before 25K up over here. There's a very strong resistance level over there. And so let's look at lower time frame and see what's going on over there. All right, we can see that this trend line is actually getting broken to the downside. But is that enough to start buying or to start selling? Absolutely no. We need confidence. We need to like add a couple of things together to be able to make a whole trading decision. It's not just enough for trend line to be on point. Like you need a couple of. That's one thing about my own trading style. Like I had a lot of things together to be able to form a single trading decision, and I think that has been helping to some extent because it kind of like reduce the level of risk you are taking per trade, other than just saying, okay, it's only trend line I want to be using to trade, or it's only just support and resistance I want to be using to trade. Like a lot of times, support and resistance will fail. A lot of times, trend line will not hold. A lot of times, market structure, will fail. It's been proven over and over and over. This is like there's nothing that works 100% of the time. So simply by like combining 2 or 3 confluence and confirmations together, you put yourself in a better position to win that way. Sato, do you agree?
yeah, sure, sure, sure. I agree very well with
Yeah,
confluence.
yeah. It's always better to use 2 or more confluence. Like one confluence is better, 2 confluence is better than one. 3 confluence is better than two.
But
You know.
let me ask you a few questions before you
All
go
right, so
ahead. Like
yeah,
when you say confluence,
yeah,
because sometimes that's where people also get it twisted and
yeah,
complicated. Like
yeah,
you now begin to combine too many things.
yeah,
Like you begin to combine too many um let me just say irrelevant. Let me call them
yeah,
irrelevant things,
yeah,
like
yeah.
all in the name of I'm looking for
I'm looking for
confluence. So you're
confluence.
analyzing every day, but you are never able to execute a trade.
Yeah, yeah.
So for me, I have streamlined what I want to see on a chart,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So when I'm saying confluence, for example, I'm looking at demand, supply, support, and resistance,
Yeah,
price action.
yeah.
I'm not looking for anything else. So everyone should be
Anything
able
else?
to identify, like, okay, what confluence am I going to? If I say I'm looking for confluence,
Yeah,
is that when you now pull up fib, you pull up retracement, you pull up
yeah,
this, you pull up
yeah.
that, and then before you know it, your chart looks like a shrine, or you're about to you're about to make a sacrifice. you know.
Makes sense. All right. So it's always better to streamline your conference to 2 or 3 things at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah.
Streamline
Just
it. Bottom line, you have like 2 things you're looking for. Because the more if you start looking for 5 conferences, you may not see a single trade that align with all those 5 conferences in one
yeah,
week.
yeah,
You know, and what's not the point? You're just wasting time watching charts, seeing all the
Yeah.
movements, but not able to take any of them. You know. So considering the positive news that happened on USD some minutes ago, the CPI news, you know, I think BTC should still push all the way down to 18,500, 18,700 zone. You know, so I'll be looking at taking a trade on BTC USD if I want to trade this immediately after the break of this place over here. You know, then possibly find a very good stop loss on 1 hour time frame, then ride it all the way down, all the way down. This is like 3% risk. You know, if you are taking the trade here and you are putting your stop loss over here, it's like 3.5% risk. Meanwhile, the reward is about 10%. Yeah, 10%. You know, makes super sense. I mean, you are risking let's say you are risking $30 to make $100, or you are risking $3 to make $10, or whatever way you decide to look at it. It just makes super sense. That's almost like 1 to 3 risk to reward. You know, I kept on talking about risk to reward. Risk to It's very, very important. Before any trade you take, you have to consider what is the risk I'm taking on this trade, what is the reward I'm taking. You know, it's only a foolish trader that enters a trade and start looking for stop loss. Where do I put my stop? Like, these are things that you should predetermine before clicking the buy order or the sell order. If it's about clicking buy order or sell order, you can teach your dog how to click buy orders and sell orders. You know, but these are things that make you a successful and a profitable traders. Know how much you are risking per trade, and know that okay, this is how much I'm risking for so amount. So I'm risking $30 to make $100. At the end of the day, if you make $60, it's still a win for you. Even if you make $30 at the end of the day, that's 1 to 1 risk to reward. Like, but you should never go below 1 to 1 risk to reward for any reason. For any reason. The only reason why I go below 1 to 1 risk to reward is maybe I've been looking for trade opportunity all day and I've not seen anything, and maybe or I need to run or something like that. You know, I can take a 1 to 1 risk to reward, but I can't take anything less than 1 to 1. So three to one, 1 to 3 risk to reward is like great. 1 to 2 is ideal, you know. But worst case scenario is 1 to 1 risk to reward, you know, before I can take any trade. You know, so I think the trade makes sense. BTC USD. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I think I would like to give a passing note to everyone. Just make sure you're buying Bitcoin. All right.
Yeah.
Make sure you're storing it. Make sure you have a wallet where you keep your, like cryptocurrencies. You don't necessarily have to actively trade them.
Mhm.
That's one way you're already buying your future. You're preserving your wealth. They might go down. They might just don't follow the noise. Don't get into that mix of getting distracted.
Yeah.
Very, very important.
Yeah.
So I'm wishing everyone the very best. I'm rooting for you guys. Let's make some money.
Mm-hmm. I want to become a millionaire, Joe. I will risk it all.
Probably we should play
Risk
that
it
Davido
all.
song for you, risky.
Let me play the soundtrack from risk
Or
it
just,
all.
just, just change your name to risky.
No, have you seen Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah, you guys should see Wolf of Wall Street. That movie is very interesting. You know, don't include
Yeah, like
feeding
Yomi
money.
said, don't include your feeding money. Don't put in money you need in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Because your crypto investments, you need to give it time. Just give it time. Like 2 years, that's a good expectation. Yeah. Good afternoon once again, guys. Such a pleasure to have you Are we signing out?
Yeah. So we are on how many subscribers? We're on 182 subscribers. Guys, please share this channel. Share with your friends, your trader friends, professional, amateur
Share it with your
traders.
enemies.
Share it with everybody. Let's all win together. It's always better, like the Yoruba people say, Ajojo Kindu Tenikobani. Like if you are getting all this kind of information for free here and you can't share with the people you love and care about, it doesn't add up. So share with your people, let them join, let them subscribe, and we'll be doing this every week. I've literally cleared all my calendar, my schedule to be able to do this with you guys every single week. Every single week. So 3 times every week. We still have a lot of professional traders that will be joining us as time goes on. So it won't just be two of us. It won't just be our black faces that you are seeing. All right, guys. Let's call it a day over here. It's been over 1 hour, and we'll go again tomorrow. Cheers, guys.